Hey guys, so today I'll be talking to you a little bit about interviewing for a midwifery position. I know in the UK you have to interview to get into midwifery. I didn't have to do that, but I did want to give you some of what would be my advice and general tips for it, as well as a midwifery job at the end of your degree. So I recently did an interview and I was successful in my interview, so I guess that counts for something, and hopefully my tips can be of value to you. So my first tip would be very much have knowledge and be aware of policies, documents, any procedures or protocols that your local hospitals have, that your health district might have, or your country may have in regards to midwifery. I got asked specifically to reference policies, and I'm very glad that I did have quite a broad knowledge of it, so I was able to use it in my interview. Some of it was a bit unexpected, for example, like social media policy and privacy policies. So I think just taking notes on them and having general information can give you a massive heads up. Another thing would be to start thinking about examples that you can use in your interview. In my third year, I was thinking, if I was to write a resume, what am I going to be able to put on it? And so then I signed up for a lot of different things. I did acupressure courses, water birth course, I did a sexuality course, I did all these little short courses. Oh, and a breastfeeding one, which was amazing. And so I was able to bring this up in my interview, and for them it showed I'm passionate about my professional development and I'm willing to use my own time to further my knowledge about midwifery and the career. So I think having those things to reference and have in my head was really important. Another thing would be to look at the place you're interviewing. For me, I was interviewing for a specific health district, so they had particular slogans and mottos, and you could tell the interviewers really appreciated when I referenced them. They were quite surprised. So just having an in-depth knowledge of, say, the hospital you're going to, things and little projects that they're doing, that extra edge. One of the hardest parts of the interview that I did, and probably the bit that I think takes the most preparation, is clinical questions. So in my interview we were asked questions such as, like, what do you go into a room and a woman's collapsed? What are the steps? Or you know, someone is presenting with a temperature and a rash, what do you do? So having a very basic but thorough clinical knowledge is very important as well, and to be able to answer those questions confidently, because I think a lot of us would naturally know what to do, but when you're in that high stress interview situation, it kind of leaves your mind. So having those prepared answers, I think, can really help you. In terms of having confidence and getting rid of those pre-interview nerves, something that I did, watch a lot of TED Talks about having that kind of presence and charisma, but also doing meditations and some hypnosis. You can just find them on YouTube. I don't know if it was more of a placebo effect, but to me, psychologically, I remember sitting with all the applicants and they were all very nervous and they were all very focused, and I was just smiling and I just felt super calm. And I really think doing that emotional prep work made a difference. I think another important thing is also don't be afraid to mention personal hobbies or personal interests. I know in my interview, the interviewees really loved that I talked about having my midwifery blog. They really loved that I talk about my passion for personal development, and also like how I'm very much into exercise, meditation, because this shows that you're also able to cope with the high stress environment that is midwifery, and that you do have a lot of different skills that can cross over to midwifery. I think this can also make you stand out a little bit, because a lot of people are going to give a very similar standardized answer. If you can create that connection with the interviewer, you're going to be something a little bit different and something that's still going to be in their head. Instead of going into the interview with a mindset of getting a job, go into the interview with a mindset of making it an enjoyable experience for those involved, yourself included. This takes the pressure off, and again does make you stand out. What I did was think of the worst case scenario. Okay, so I don't get a job at this particular hospital. Well, there's plenty of other jobs, there's plenty of other hospitals, and really kind of talking myself off the ledge really helped me be calm in the interview, and again enjoy the experience more. So I hope some of these tips are useful to you. Take what you want out of it, but if you have any more questions, leave them below. But if you're about to interview, best of luck, and remember just to enjoy the process.